brand new movie that just came out, The Flash, directed
There
by
we go.
Andy Muschietti. And yeah, I mean, this movie's great. It's about Barry Allen, who is the Flash, Ezra Miller. He finds a way that he can travel back in time just by running faster, and he decides he's going to go back and save his parents when he was a child. But in doing so, he disrupts the entire world's synchronicity, and the butterfly effect puts everything completely out of whack. He ends up meeting the younger version of himself on the day that he got his powers. And so the two of them, along with some other people, including the much teased about Michael Keaton as the alternative aging Bruce Wayne, they join forces to take out General Zod, who is attacking Earth without anybody to save the planet in this timeline. Ezra Miller is fantastic, and it's a really complicated role, dual roles, and he nails it. Everything that makes Tom Holland's Spider-Man and his whininess unbearable, Miller nails, and he sells it. And the multiverse is there in this movie, which is a negative because I'm sick of it. But it doesn't just come out and just throw a ton of different multiverses, universes at you, because that's now creative storytelling. It's more like Looper than anything else. It's more about timelines and paradoxes than it is about the multiverse that inferior movies like Across the Spider-Verse and like the Oscars and the MCU are obsessed with right now. The Cage cameo is brilliant. Just there are a couple others and inside jokes that are killer, but Cage in all of his glory was just perfect. And I'm putting this number 3, or this is I'm giving the movie 3 stars, and it puts it number 28 on the Cage in between Gone in 60 Seconds and Industrial Symphony number 1, The Dream of the Brokenhearted. But this is definitely the second smallest Cage role on the Cager scale.
Yeah, I saw this too. Yeah, he had like 5 seconds. And they had to milk those 5 seconds to get him on screen for 5 seconds.
He actually was there. He had to be, because some of the other cameos in that sequence don't even have it listed. So those were
the rest is archival stuff.
Yeah, and just computer animated, but Cage must have actually been on set at some point to do this, because it's actually listed as being a credit.
It's possible. All right, Zach, I have a feeling you're never going to see this movie.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
But I've seen the trailer enough times to feel like I've seen it.
This is true.
There is okay. The trailer was overplayed to the max. There is almost none of what the movie's actually about in the trailer. There's a lot of trailer, but it's not. Yeah, what the things that actually go on and the dynamics and everything that becomes the movie is not in the trailer.
It does feel different than what the trailer looks like. What it looks like the trailer's selling. Yeah, I'm giving it 3 stars too. It is a good movie. However, it feels like it's the third in a line of movies that are all kind of the same, and it borrows bits and pieces from the others and doesn't do it as well. Like, it's trying to be Spider-Man No Way Home, but it doesn't do it as well. It's trying to be Across the Spider-Verse, but it doesn't do it as well. It doesn't mean that
it's trying to be Looper. That's what I'm saying.
It just kind of, it doesn't have its own identity. It's just pulling ideas from all the other ones. I know I was talking to you a little bit about this yesterday, and I find it fascinating, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I find it fascinating that the moral of the story of The Flash is the exact opposite of the moral of the story in Across the Spider-Verse. Where the moral of the story in Spider-Verse is the whole, if something is destined to happen, do you have to let it happen if you know it's going to happen? Where the Flash is, and Miles Morales' response is no. In the Flash, the response is yes, you have to let things happen if they are destined to happen, or else the entire universe is going to collapse. So,
which is a way more complicated thing to go through, I feel like.
Oh, don't upset the fans now.
I'm the dismissive one. I think it digs deeper into those questions in The Flash than it does into Spider-Verse, and it's more like
it'll dig more. I feel
the DC movies are so pessimistic too, and so dark, that I think this actually fits better than a lot of the recent stuff that they've done.
Well, and I think this also might be a step towards what we're going to be seeing from DC now that James Gunn is running it. I mean, what are the most lighthearted DCEU movies? This and Suicide Squad, which James Gunn directed. So I think it's showing a little bit of a trend in a different direction. But yeah, 3 stars. It's nowhere near as good as the Spider-Man movies, but it's trying to do what the Spider-Man movies are doing, but it's still good.
Well, and how can you compete with the greatest cinematic moment in history when Flash enters the Speed Force? I mean, this movie is only a step down, right? So, it's competing.
Yeah,
with that.
they've completely screwed with the all continuity from those other movies, which is probably a good thing because this is a big step up from any of the Batman versus Superman and Justice League nonsense.